Hello and welcome to another live stream. It is Sunday, the 1st of May, 2022, and we are going to do something a little bit different today. So let me switch over to my screen and we will talk about this for just a moment before we get into the demo itself. All right, so I have talked before in several occasions. Good morning, Catherine. I've talked before on several occasions about NextCloud, and this is a great alternative to things like Dropbox and Google Drive and Google Docs and all that kind of stuff. This is a new, relatively new, I believe it came out last fall, relatively new set of GitHub instructions from the NextCloud people. And this is NextCloud All-in-One. And so this does use Docker, but the interesting thing here is included in this, you get NextCloud, you get NextCloud Office, which is based on Collabora Office, which is in turn based on LibreOffice, which I already use on all of my machines. You get the high performance backend for the NextCloud files and NextCloud Talk. And they also have a backup solution built in based on Borg backup. And then optionally, you can use OnlyOffice instead of NextCloud Office. And you can install Clam antivirus. So the part of this that is radically different from what I normally do on one of my live streams is we are actually using Linode for this. No, Linode is not a sponsor, although I would not turn them away if they wanted to sponsor my channel in some way, shape, or form. So I've got the cloud server running on Linode. It's already updated. I've got my SSH keys sent over for my user. One thing that I do want to do before we get started with the excuse me, with the full install is to lock down SSH. And so we're going to edit sshd underscore config. And we're going to come down and we are going to change this from permit root login yes to permit root login no. Because the people that are out there that are up to nefarious things, they are going to try to exploit the root user first because it's low-hanging fruit and why do extra work of trying to figure out what users are on a system if you know that the root user is available on all Unix systems, including Linux and BSD. Okay, you want the RAM? Give me just a moment. Let me go grab the box of parts and I will be right back. All right, let's see. Right now for RAM, I have 4 sticks of, let me take a picture with my phone so I can actually read this without having to pop them out. Okay. Come on, phone. This is that's annoying. All right, let's try this again. This is 4 sticks of Corsair DDR4 2400 megahertz 14, 16, 16, 31. Is what I've got in here. And as far as the GPU, I will be using one of whichever one of these actually works. RTX 2080 monster. I've got 2 of these. One of them has to go to get reworked a little bit because there are issues, and I was told that up front. The model number for the graphics card GeForce RTX 2080 on the bottom by the PCI Express connector. It says NVIDIA, and that doesn't look like there's other markings on here, but let me see if any of this is readable if I blow it up a little bit. What do we have? I don't know if this is the part number. 900-1 G 180 2500 000. Help if I am actually typing. 900-1 G 180 good morning, David. Welcome. All right. So, we have locked down SSH just a little bit. And so I want to get this started because I know there's going to be some parts of this that are going to be a little on the time-consuming side. So we can let this run in the background. So the first part of it is we're going to install Docker using the getdocker.com installation method. So we will just paste that in, and that is going to start doing its thing. Oh, no worries on the pause. I think it's just you and David in the stream today so far, so we'll make it work. And I did push back the time by 30 minutes today anyways, so I'm not really feeling any time constraints, but I guess while that's waiting, I guess I could show off this this beauty of a motherboard. Turn that around that way. So, yeah. All right. Welcome, Chris. So I have 3 people now. That's good. In case you missed it, this is the GitHub that I am following along with. We are installing NextCloud Hub II using the NextCloud all-in-one install process. And we are back here. So this is running on Linode. I probably won't leave this up as is at the end of this demo, but I don't know. It depends on how things go. So, yeah, we've got Docker installed now. And if we come back over here, the next part of it is running this Docker script, and we will paste that in and get it moving. And I don't think there's anything there that I need to update. I think that's all good. So the nice thing about running this on Linode is that it is going a whole lot faster than it was on my VM that I set up earlier this morning. So I had hoped that this would work for me, but I got in a little further than I wanted to, and it was getting closer to time to launch the live stream. So I decided to throw up a Linode instance and run it from here, and I can always shut it down and kill the instance after the live stream is over. So after the initial install, we are going to actually go to port 8443 on, let me get my fun domain here. Oops. Let's see, hub.homelab.fun 8443. And we'll save that for once this is finished. Which it may be. Oh, port 8080 is what we actually want. Okay, so NextCloud AIO setup. So we will come in here, log in using your NextCloud AIO password, which is this guy here. And I will definitely be changing that. Okay, so we've got the, let me change this here. There we go. Please type in the domain that will be used for NextCloud if you want to create a new instance. So we are going to say nchub.home-lab.fun. All right. So, this is what I had intended to be seeing earlier today, and I didn't. Optional add-ons, antivirus is not a bad thing to have. Save changes and start containers. And this could take 5 to 10 minutes, so there are definitely things going on there. I'm going to open up a new tab and the beauty of SSH. With this being a VPS, it does only have one processor core. I think if I was going to do this longer term, I would go up to the 2-core 60 gig. I think it's 60 or 80 gig of storage is the next tier up on Linode. But it's only hitting 300 megs and change out of 2 gigs available for this. So that's not awful. I would like a little bit of breathing space on that long term though. All right, let's see. Asus TUF Mark 1. Would be great to see Intel and AMD return to the HEDT space. It's been a long time for Intel, and AMD has only been doing the Pro line. Yeah. For the benefit of anybody that hasn't heard the backstory on this bit of hardware that I picked up for a song and a dance, for a $250 investment, I got the motherboard, the CPU, which is a 7980XE, 18 cores, 36 threads, 32 gigs of RAM, and 2 RTX 2080 cards, one of which is known not to be operable at the moment. For For the price I invested in it, I didn't do too bad. I've still got to pick up probably about another $500 worth of parts, a power supply, a an all-in-one cooler, water cooler, um, and a case. So I've been looking. I think I've got it narrowed down to a few choices, between a few choices now. Um, but I want to look at a couple other things before I narrow it down further than what I have it now. So let's see what this is doing. We'll give it till about noon Eastern, and if it doesn't, if it still has the little spinner, then we will just reload the page and see what what we need to do. So to start with, which won't be my permanent storage solution, to start with, it will be running a 240 gig SATA solid state drive and at least one spinning rust drive. My longer term goal is to get a couple of M.2 drives in there, and then put additional solid state drives in, and which is just going to require a reinstall of Proxmox when I get those parts. I'm not looking to do this all at once. I want to get the minimum parts ordered to get it up and running, and then as time and money permits, leading into the summer, then I will start buying some additional parts. So one GPU is enough. Two is asking for issues. Depends on your use case. For gaming, I would agree. For running Proxmox and doing GPU pass-through to virtual machines, 2 GPUs is actually kind of the sweet spot, but it's not absolutely required for what I'm going to be doing. And the other thing is with Proxmox, you can mix and match GPUs, so I could put the one working 2080 in there, and then I could pick up something lower end like the AMD RX 6400, which are, you know, low powered and inexpensive, but for virtual machines it would be plenty, because I'm not looking to have a gaming machine in a VM or anything like that, or do, you know, any like high performance applications. Most of my intent behind this machine is to have the cores available for running a lot of consolidated virtual machines in a single box. So here Case Labs is making a comeback. Would make a great home for that system. I've not actually heard of them, Old Man Technology. So it could do NVMe Gen 3. Yep. I downloaded the manual for the motherboard. I've started becoming familiar with that, so I'm up to speed on what the capabilities are. It's going to be a fun build. It should be nice. Let's go ahead and reload this and see if we get any further. Looks like it might still have a ways to go because I got a little thingy going on the tab there as well. That's all right. We'll see. All right, fresh clam is installed. Postgres is installed. So let's see. Quit out of that. And that's probably going to spit me an error message because I didn't add my user to the group, the Docker group yet. Okay. Do that. Okay, Docker's just kind of chugging. There it goes. All right, NextCloud AIO Redis latest. NextCloud AIO Postgres latest. NextCloud AIO Talk latest. NextCloud AIO Clam AV, Collabora, all in one latest. So we should be getting close to that being up. While we're waiting, I'm going to do sudo usermod ag docker, my username. Now I should be able to do docker ps. Oh, I probably have to log out, log back in. Let's do that. There it goes. Yay. Okay. Making progress now. So what does our set of instructions have to say? Inspired by projects like Portainer, blah, blah, blah. Reverse proxies are supported. Which ports are mandatory to be opening your firewall? That's if you're running it from home. Can be run on Docker desktop on Windows. And okay. Well, let's see if this has decided to... Hey, look at that. We're making progress. Containers, some of these are currently starting yet. So we'll see what happens. But this is getting closer. Let's see. Solid state drive might be wrong, and the hard drive I put into, you could ignore them just to see if it fits in the case. Oh, gotcha. My next big build is a VMware ESXi system with very beefy hardware specs. I guess great minds think alike. Yep. Only real difference is I'm going to be using Proxmox instead of ESXi. Over the last several years that I've had Proxmox running, I've come to really like it. And one of the reasons for wanting a system like this, with the 18 cores, 36 threads, is that if I were to decide to purchase the support package from the Proxmox people, it is based on the number of processor sockets in your machine. So this old dual Xeon system that I've got, that I think that's only 4 cores per socket. I'd be paying double for the community support tier, and I'm unwilling to pay that kind of money for a support package for a server that's as old as that one is. Now the i9, on the other hand, that's much newer, much more recent. So I'm much more willing to spend, whatever 95 euros translates to, probably $110 US. If I had to guess off the top of my head, based on the last time I looked at exchange rates, I'd be willing to do that just to get access for the enterprise repository on one machine that I've got running Proxmox. The other thing is I will likely, maybe not right after I get this installed, but after I've had some time to test it, I will probably reinstall my other 2 machines that are running Proxmox currently. The 2 Optiplex machines, which are like 3rd and 4th gen i5s or i7s. But one thing that Proxmox does support, even in the unpaid version, is clustering and high availability. And it'll be a novelty to have at home, but why not? Why not? All right, so let's see how our containers are doing starting up. Maybe, well, let's see. What do I have on this server? This is the what do I have on this? 2 gigs of RAM. 2 gigs of RAM. So theoretically, NextCloud will run in 1. And then the note said that Clam AV needs an additional gig of RAM. So 2 gigs should leave me just a little bit of breathing room. If I could justify having something like this running all the time, then I would probably go to the 4 gig tier in Linode, which shared CPU, the 4 gig is $20 a month, but it gets you an additional 30 gig of storage space and double the transfer, double the CPUs, and double the RAM. So I would consider doing that going forward. So there is one other sort of install option for NextCloud. What was it? It was NextCloud and I just had it as the tip of my tongue. It was a NextCloud install. This Mistborn. That's what I don't know why I was thinking something starting with an R. Mistborn. That should get us there. So this is the other install I considered. And I may do this in a future video, but what Mistborn does is it gives you NextCloud and WireGuard VPN, and you actually have to use the VPN in order to access NextCloud. If you aren't connected to the VPN, you get 0 access. And you get QR codes for your different machines that you want to connect to it, which is especially useful for phones and tablets. It just it looks very interesting. They've even got themselves their little network diagram. This is based on Debian 11. Ubuntu 2004, Debian 11, which those two are pretty closely related. Raspberry Pi OS, Buster, which is slightly older version derivative of Debian. And yeah, so default tests are on DigitalOcean droplets, 2 gig of RAM, 1 CPU, 50 gig hard drive, which is equivalent to what I'm running on Linode currently. But you also get Cockpit optionally for a dashboard. Vault Warden, Tor, and SyncThing if you go up to a 4 gig system. And then if you want to run even higher, then you get Jitsi, Jellyfin, which is a media server, Rocket Chat, Home Assistant, and OnlyOffice. So there we go. There's the network diagram. So, and this is intended such that you could run it at home, and for better or worse. I would consider something like this if I could get somewhere where I could double up and have a secondary internet provider coming in. I may very well consider something like this. But um, sent the PC part list, air cooled to your email. You need to spend about $309 for the power supply and Noctua D15. Very nice. Yes, they definitely were inspired by Skyrim, which, uh, yeah, I played Skyrim back in 2007 when I bought a PlayStation 3 at a price. A price. uh, yeah, I think I spent $800 that day between the PlayStation 3 and one game, and Skyrim was the game. So um, I quickly decided that those open world type games were not really my cup of tea. But all right, let's see if we're making any further progress here. Um, Still in starting status. Um, all right. So, when in doubt, look at the logs. Let's go down to the bottom. Here we go. Um, well, obviously, I don't have the time zone set correctly. And it's incorrectly reporting my processor architecture as well, and the OS version. That's kind of funny. All right. Um, hmm. Well, um, yeah. Let's come back down here. Um, well, it's not letting me click on anything. So, I think we've got an issue. um, 421 megs in use. Got 460 megs of swap. That's not ideal. Um, but the processor core is relatively calm between 19 and 30%. Um, let's see. Well, that makes me wonder. It's not letting me in on that. we'll see if that takes me back here again. All right, 8080 redirects me. Well, I thought we were going to have an easier time with this running on the Linode server. It doesn't appear that that is actually cooperating. Get address info for host, port 80, port 9000, name or service not known. Okay, so we've got an Apache issue. It appears. Let's see what this has to say. Get address info, name does not resolve. Okay, so let's just try it another way. Let's try. Doesn't want to do anything. Okay, so well, I guess this is one of those curse of the live demo situations. So let's see. So we've already got an answer to a question I was going to ask. So there's no live stream over at David's channel tonight. So that's all right. That live demo curse is very strong. Yes, I I seem to find myself getting bit by that more lately than I'd care to admit, but it is what it is, and at least I've got some additional information for troubleshooting. So I will likely attempt this again off air, and then when I do come back and do this demo again, I I will know all the little tricks to actually making it work the first time, even though it'll probably be my fourth or fifth time going through it. So I did attempt this earlier. I think I left that up and running. Maybe not. Well, let's see. Come here. And NextCloud clone, because this was my first stab at it. So that did not start near the number of containers that the Linode version did, which is interesting. Okay, so we could try this another way. Let me do this. Let me try something else here real quick. I've got an idea. May or may not work. May or may not work. But we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, and we'll try it anyways. So I need to get into, we wait for that to expire. 1, 3, 4. Okay, so let's come here to DNS. We are going to do something just a little bit different. Let's see, DNS. This is going to be NC3, and then we want what I'm doing and why my screen is not showing is I'm looking up some information I don't necessarily want public, so okay, so let's try. All right. Okay, so that part is set. We need to go here too. And open up some ports, which I don't do typically. But open up some temporary ports on my network, which I will then just close up after the live stream is over, but hey, it's all good for the sake of a demo. All right, so we need to come in here. And what am I looking to do? There we go. Actually want to shut this one down. And this is going to be It's 111. Okay. Okay, I think we're okay to start this. I'm not going to guarantee this is going to work. This did not fly earlier, but if I open up the ports and send them nc dash talk 1, and this is going to be from any port 3478. Forward IP is going to be protocol both. Enable rule, apply rule. Okay, and then to NextCloud from any port 80 TCP and 443 8443. All right, almost done here. Okay, so I should have those ports enabled. So we'll try this one more time with a slightly different not going to guarantee this will work, but we'll try it. All right, so I should be able to bring this on screen again, which I would think would make this immensely more interesting. All right, so this is a VM that I've got running locally. I have given this 6 processor cores and 6 gigs of RAM. I've forwarded the ports from my router to this machine temporarily for the purpose of this demo. And let's see. So I've done updates on this. Let's get the IP address, and that is what I thought it was. So we will come over here. Yes. Okay. So we will try this one more time before we completely give up on it for today. So this is the first one that we need to copy. And we'll let that run and do its thing. Excuse me. Next week, I will have a live stream no matter what. No traveling planned this week. Awesome. I'm looking forward to that. I would like to also try moving to a weekly live stream schedule in September. May also change to Saturday night. It's not a bad idea. I may be changing things up a bit this summer myself. I already am planning the the weekend before. Weekend before Memorial Day. So the 20th, 21st, 22nd this weekend. So the 22nd, the 21st and the 22nd, I may be camping somewhere else that will likely not have good internet access. So I will likely not be doing a live stream that weekend unless I can make some special arrangements with the owner of the campground. I am doing some work on her Wi-Fi for her campers. So I may be able to get special permission to do a short live stream from the campground store. And where I would be able to have wired internet access. So that might pan out. I will have to approach her with the option or the proposal for that. So Docker is installed. I'm going to add myself to the Docker group right now. Sudo usermod -a capg Docker. Okay, I also want to edit etc host, and I want to change this one to what did I set up for that? This is going to be nc3.home-lab.fun nc3 X, yes, and then we also need to add or edit nano etc was it host name? Yep. nc3.home-lab.fun. Okay. And then let's do Docker PS. Let's log out and log back in. Docker PS does work. And log out one more time. And then we're going to do okay. Now we should be able to log in without password. I do love my SSH keys. Okay. The next part is this one right here. We'll paste that in. up another tab. And we'll come over here and we'll monitor this. So it should not thrash near as much, and it should stay away from swap, which would be much preferable. So it's extracting files for this now, and we will see what happens. Like I said, I'm not making any guarantees at all. But while we're waiting on this, let's jump back over here for a moment. There are a few new Linux distribution releases as of today. Xtix is Ubuntu based and has alternative desktop environments. It has the option to run it from RAM, which is kind of entertaining idea for certain applications. And it does use a newer kernel than both Ubuntu and Pop! OS. This is using 5.17, whereas Pop! OS is using 5.16 and Ubuntu is using 5.15. So a little bit newer there. If you have some bleeding edge hardware, this may not be a bad option, at least for testing. Zephyx, one I haven't heard of before, based on Debian's stable branch here. Aim is to provide a free modular operating system that users can carry around and use wherever there is a laptop or desktop system available. Good thing these little kids at the library don't know about this kind of thing, or else they'd be trying to bypass Windows on the public computers there. Not that they would be very successful, but it wouldn't stop them from trying if they actually knew about this. So that also is dated today. Dated Friday. Chaos is the KDE showcase distribution. It's a 2.8 gig ISO image, and this is meant to feature the most recent versions of KDE components. And then Voyager Linux is Voyager Live is based on Ubuntu with the XFCE desktop, and you can get GNOME as well. Okay, so let's see where we're at. That's pretty calm there. Let's see. Let's come here and initial startup is complete. So internal IP of the server, port 8080. Accept risk and continue. Knock on wood. Okay, so we have their generated passphrase. We'll copy. And see what happens. Have I told you lately that this old Xeon machine is slow? Okay. This is going to be nc3 dot home lab home-lab dot fun, and domain does not point to this server or reverse proxy not configured. Okay, so that was the other question. I do not in fact have a reverse proxy. I did open up the ports, so let's see what we've got here. All right, let's see. c3.homelab.fun colon 8080. Is that at all going to work? I don't think it is. Right, so I actually need to come here. That's correct. That is correct. Which is interesting. nc3.home-lab.fun. Make sure the server is reachable on port 443. Okay, so take my screen off the stream one more time. Double check my port forwards. Let's see, networks. Nope. Firewall. 443. 111. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Give that a minute to propagate, and we will see here. Still does not. Okay. Well, so got that set up in my port forwards, which I guess I am showing. So let's reboot the system, and then we'll try this again. And there it goes down. Maybe we will get some things going. Upgraded my 1700X and X370 board with a 3700X. Very nice. Yeah, absolutely. Congrats on that new CPU. I've got a new old CPU. Maybe by next week I'll have my parts and it'll be up and running. That would be nice. All right, so Docker PS. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. Let's come back here, copy this again, and go there. All right, NC3, this one. Submit. Domain does not point to this server. I beg to differ. nc3.home-lab.fun. That is, in fact, pointed. Well, I guess I'm 0 for 2 on this. But I will, come hell or high water, I will figure this out. And see what we can do with this in the next week. One zombie process. Okay. Docker PS. Okay, so let's just restart this. Okay. Their server does, or else I would not be able to get into it with SSH with that command. It's a configuration issue, is what it is. So, but no, I've got the DNS pointed at that server, so that's not an issue. That's this entry right here is pointed at the NextCloud on Linode. So that's not a problem. The other one is, I believe, also a configuration issue pointing at something inside my network. I'm not sure the port forwarding is working correctly. So that's why that one crashed and burned on me. Oh, I want to be here. So let's try this here. Get out of that one. And go into that one. All right. Well, that has to be about back up by now. Let's see. So that is running. That is running. We will see. It looks like we're at the same status we were before. Yeah. All right, one other thing I can check on this. Let's do that. Okay. Okay. So let's try something else here. Okay, sudo ufw allow and this is going to be 3478 TCP and UDP. And then I need to do rules. Nope. UFW reload. Firewall not enabled. Okay. Oh, inactive. All right. So that shouldn't be the issue. Shouldn't be the issue. Oh, well, what do you know? What do you know? What do you know? Not exactly sure if that was actually the okay, we don't want to change the password for that. Back up and restore. So everything is running. Open your NextCloud. Initial password is that string. Admin. Saving that. Apparently I'm just being impatient. So I am curious to see how this is doing. That's awful. Oh my gosh, that's awful. 100% CPU, and it's thrashing swap. That's, yeah, this isn't going to fly for any long-term usage. But it's running. It's running. Oh my gosh. Um, all right. Well, I guess I did triumph over the technology, and wow. I'm wow. Um, so what do I need to do? I want to add a user. Um, um, contacts. Users. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to take this down. If I'm going to run it, I'm going to have to run it with more RAM. I just don't think I want to spend $20 a month on this. Well, at least I know what I need to do next time I install it for a demo. Which I'll probably just record a video, and then I can speed up some of the parts of the video that are extremely slow. This one I can go ahead and shut down. Goodbye. All right, so that's done. So the pork bun management is working. I'm going to sign out of that. Okay, so that's off. This is still thinking. Yeah. So I am interested in this backup and restore option, but I need to have this running on a server that is going to have enough headroom to actually allow me to do something with it. Right now, this is about as useful as a paperweight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So sometimes perseverance works in my favor. Had to rewatch my Samba AD video last week so I can rebuild my server. Oh my. Yeah, it's interesting how when you're a video creator, a YouTube creator, how, especially with tech as a segment, how you find yourself going back and rewatching your own videos. I admit that I've done that on more than one occasion. So You are not alone. Um, I blame it on middle age, but you know, what can you do? As my father would say, every day above ground is a good day. I need toothpicks to keep my eyelids open. Well, I find myself watching my own videos on at least 1.25 speed, and I find that helps a lot. Um, I guess due to the equipment limitations that I've had for a number of years when making videos, I have tended to learn how to talk more slowly to fill space. And I don't necessarily like listening to channels and videos like that. So, I am not at all offended if people watch me on 1.25 or 1.5 speed. It still counts as a view for the channel, albeit with a lower time. But if you watch 100% of the video on 1.25 speed, it still counts as watching 100% of the video. So I'm okay with that. But, it's interesting to me that, I've received mixed feedback on my videos. Some people rave about the topics I cover and the fact that I don't cut out things when I make a mistake or when something doesn't go quite right, but I leave it in showing the troubleshooting process. And especially for typically younger people that may not have honed their troubleshooting skills to the level I have, I could see where that would be helpful. I guess I guess I'm in part a an alum of the School of Hard Knocks, or maybe it's just that I'm continually enrolled in the School of Hard Knocks long-term education program. Um, and shoot, by now I should have about 3 PhDs, but uh, it I remember myself saying similar things, that there should have been more troubleshooting tip type references when I was going through school. And hey, with YouTube we've got that. So, I guess a complaint that I always had has been addressed, even if I have become one of those many people that is working to address that. Um, so anyway, um, it's especially since those videos were not accelerated in speed by 15% as they are now. Yeah, the hard knock experiences are very important. However, most people on YouTube today don't have that patience, in my humble opinion. Yes, I absolutely agree with that, and that's why TikTok videos and YouTube Shorts are so popular, because of this lack of attention span, and I think we all go through and have days where we don't want to concentrate on things very much, and our focus is just off. But I don't know. I mean, some of these kids, even looking at my nieces that are 18 and 13, it's just they can't sit and do anything for any length of time. You, you know, um, it's completely different than any um, experience I've had. Um, because I was always being told by these older people that we now know as the baby boom generation, but these older people always told me, well, you've got to sit there and do that, and you can't get up until it's done, and this and that and the other thing. So at some point, people in my shoes learn to deal with that, I guess. um, but yeah, okay. I don't know if the signal dropped for a second there or what, but looks good now. Um, all right, so let's see. I started at 11:30. It's now 1:08. So we've done our 90 minutes plus a little bit. So I'm satisfied with that. I think I think I'm going to start wrapping this up. Um, if nobody has any other questions or comments. Um, I am part of that baby boom gen. At least they have bounded the years lately. Yeah. Um, and it's funny you mentioned that, David, because when I think of baby boom generation, I think more my dad's age, and he's got 10 plus years on you. He was like right at the beginning of that generational segment. Um, so um, I guess I've always dealt with the older end of the baby boom generation in person, at least. Um, and it's one of those things that the more I look at where some of these arbitrary generational lines have been drawn, it makes me feel like there's overlap between them in some ways. Um, like some of the later baby boom generation will have some of the characteristics, or tend to have some of the characteristics as Gen X. And then, some of the millennials will overlap with Gen X, especially if a group of siblings um, overlaps that um, a generational boundary. But it's interesting stuff. It took me a long time to find a screwdriver that would take to unmount the CPU cooler. Then I remembered the one that came with the Noctua cooler worked very well. I've not checked my email during the live stream, no. Um, let's see. Definitely moved the line on those generations. Yes, they have. Let me jump over and see if that email did in fact come through. That'd be this email. Inbox. I do have that email. PC part picker. Okay. The Noctua NH-U14S CPU cooler. All right. Vengeance LPX 32 gigs 4x8. Yep. A data, right? Western Digital. Yep. Video card 2080. Yeah, I think I'm gonna at least attempt to reuse this case at least temporarily. And then the EVGA 1300 watt 80 plus gold. Yeah, that all looks good. That all looks good. Because the I think I had that open on my laptop. Let's see. So I looked at this Fantex case. As a possible as a possibility. So I looked at that. I also looked at this one's the 420. I think I looked at a 360 water cooler as well. But I may, at least in the short term, try and build this with the air cooling, and see how the temperatures are. I think that'd be the most economical way to do it in the short term. I'm not looking to overclock or anything like that at this point, and so yeah, I keep coming back to trying the air cooler. So, but go for the Enthoo 2. Oh, that's pretty sharp looking too. I like that little flip up design for the USB ports and front audio. That is really cool. Now it looks like the power button is up on the top. Yeah, that may very well be my case. That may very well be my case. And it's wide open on top for a radiator to go up there. So, yep. Thank you for the email, and I will likely be breaking down and spending a bunch of money this afternoon. Because I've already got 4 things in my cart. Enthoo 2 accepts a... Oh, okay, it does accept the 420. All right. So then I could do the 420 liquid cooler with that. Yeah. That would make one hell of a server. One hell of a server. So, yeah, it looks like those are all mounts for the... Well, that's under the motherboard. So let's see what... Okay, maybe those are all mounts for the drives. Yeah, this looks like a pretty sharp case, and uh, save $17 by going closed panel, but I guess even closed panel, you're going to see some of the RGB. I don't know. That's a conundrum, I guess. I eventually want to take the dive into the custom water cooling arena. You know, David, I have thought about that myself. When the couple of times I've actually been in a micro center, I always just feel drawn to that section where they've got the custom water cooling equipment, and I don't know. It just um, yeah, it just makes me wonder. You could put 2 motherboards in the Enthoo 2. Oh, that's an interesting idea as well. Um, Interesting. Very interesting. Well, I don't know if I put 2 motherboards in, but that certainly looks like a nice case. So, the Arctic AIO has no RGB. Yeah, I think I looked at 2 different ones. I think I looked at the one that was just blue RGB, at least in their picture, and I looked at the one without RGB. Um, so, you could start off with an EK AIO set. Oh, very cool. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I do need to get a couple of things done this afternoon, or else I would keep this going and keep window shopping a little bit. But my credit card statement's not going to be pretty, but I've got a suspicion I'm going to pull the trigger on this afternoon and order some parts. And then some of these little side jobs that I've been working are going to pay the credit card bill off. uh, um, I'm seriously thinking about doing it with my upcoming VM build, but then I got a great sale on a 360 AIO with RGB. Nice. All right. Well, everybody have a good week. I will be back on Thursday evening. Um, I if I get all my parts by Wednesday, I will probably be up all night Wednesday building a computer and uh, getting Proxmox installed on it, and see what I can do with that. But yeah, I think I've got some good ideas. Thank you again, Catherine and David, for coming out. And if Chris is still around, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. And Old Man Technology, I will have to take a look at your channel. So yeah, this should be a good week, and I'll be looking forward to having a nice, quiet, beefy computer sitting over here to my left side, and um, just humming along, running a bunch of virtual machines, and um, yeah. Once I can get that built and know that it's running well, then I think one of the first additions to it is going to be 10 gig networking. But that will probably take a few months to get all that stuff figured out. So um, I don't know if I'll stream the build or if I will run the video camera and then do some edits and then sort of run some time lapse of it during my Thursday live stream. So I haven't decided on that. We'll see how the week plays out. That's my plan. I want to get a small 10 gig switch, and my Mac Mini already supports 10 gig, and so it makes sense to have at least one other machine on the network that does 10 gig. So it seems logical to put that in the server. So can accept SSI EEB boards as well. Good to know. Good to know. Maybe I should stream my next VM build and then release an edited version as a regular video. Yeah, I mean I think it'll be interesting either way. Um, since the way I've got my office slash studio set up right now, it's not really great for doing a project on a table and being able to record it and stream. That's why I keep coming back to the recording it with the video camera and then doing an edit down to like a time lapse type of thing and running it. But we'll see how it plays out. I've definitely got some ideas for the week and for this build, and we'll see how it goes. So I'll definitely have some sort of an update by Thursday. So on that note, thank you all again for coming out, and I will see you all in the next video. Stay safe out there.